ASMR. Today, you saw the title right, we're going to be reading some Reddit stories, particularly from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. Before anyone says anything, yes, I stole this idea from Smosh, Reddit stories. I listen to their podcast all the time on my way to work, so if you enjoy what I'm doing here, go check them out. They're cool people. But keep in mind, they're not going to have that ASMR flair on it for you guys. But yeah, let's hop in. Let's read 2 or 3 stories and just see how it goes. The first story from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to let my brother and his family stay at my place for Christmas because they borrowed my dog's toy last year? Alright, we're already getting into the drama. This is what I love about these Am I the Asshole? What am I saying? This is what I love about these Am I the Asshole Reddit stories. There we go. Okay, let's get into the story. Last Christmas, my brother, his wife, and their 2 kids stayed at my house for the holidays. It was a bit chaotic, but I was happy to host. I had a golden retriever, Max, who was the love of my life and a huge part of my family. He has a favorite stuffed toy, a beat-up duck he's had since he was a puppy. This toy is his comfort object, and he always carries it around. Well, during their stay, my niece, 6 at the time, got very attached to Max's duck. I told her it was Max's favorite toy, and even showed her how much he loved it. But when they left, I realized that I had taken it home with them. I texted my brother thinking it was a misunderstanding and asked for it back. He said my niece cried about leaving it, so they let her keep it. I was pretty upset and explained that it wasn't just a random toy, it was Max's favorite. He said, "It's just a dog toy, go buy another one." Alright, pause, let's take a second. So I'm already siding with OP, the original poster here, because it's one thing to take something from somebody and be like, okay, hey, my daughter really likes this thing. Would it be possible that we keep it and maybe you buy another one? But to say it's just a dog toy, go buy another one, that is a moral sin. You cannot say things like that to dog owners. I know, I owned a dog. We'll get to that in a second. Let's continue with the story. I told him they needed to send it back, but they refused. I even offered to buy my niece a new duck toy that looked the same, but they still said no because she was too attached to it now. Max was visibly sad for weeks afterward. He looked for his duck every day, and it broke my heart. I ended up scurrying the internet to find the exact same duck, but Max never loved it as much as the original. Fast forward to this year, my brother asked if they could stay again for Christmas, and I told him no. He was shocked and asked why. I reminded him about the duck incident and how disrespectful it was. He said I was being petty and holding a grudge over a dog toy. My parents and other siblings are now calling me the Grinch and saying I'm punishing my niece for something she didn't understand at the time. But to me, it's not about the toy. It's about the principle and the blatant disregard for my boundaries. If they couldn't respect something so small, why would I trust them to respect my home again? Am I the asshole? Okay, so let's go back. So first of all, the big red flags here. Her brother literally telling her, it's just a dog toy, go buy another one. What's up with that? I owned a toy for a little bit of my teenage year. I owned a dog for a little bit of my teenage years, and he was not technically my dog. It was technically my sister's dog. She was the main caregiver of the dog, and seeing how much love she grew for this animal, especially for her because she was younger at the time, so she unconditional love, and those people don't exist. But you know what does exist? Dogs and cats. So one, to disrespect a dog owner like that, you should have known that you kind of had it coming, personally. Like, she even talks about how he was visibly sad for weeks, the dog, afterwards, looking for the duck every day. And then she goes to say that her brother asked if they could stay again for Christmas, and she told him no. He was shocked and asked why. Obviously, she told him about the duck. Now, me personally, I don't know. This is where things get kind of iffy for me, right? Now, I do think that the OP is valid in their opinion of not wanting the family back over because they just straight up stole her dog's toy. Cause yeah, like, to her, the dog is her nephew, like the brother has the niece, which is why he talks about it as just a dog, because he has a real child, but like at the same time, to his sister, like, that dog is her nephew. Like, you never know, maybe she can't have kids, maybe she doesn't want kids, maybe she hasn't found somebody that she wants to be with yet to have kids. And so Max, the dog, is the closest thing that she has to, like, a companion and like something that she's taking care of and raising. And so I definitely get it. Me personally, I don't think I would hold a grudge long enough to decline my family from spending time with me for the holidays. However, I do get it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame OP for, like, being like, F you guys, I don't want you guys over anymore. Well, she didn't say all that, but I don't blame her. You know what I mean? So, me personally, I wouldn't keep the family away, but I also don't think that OP is the asshole either, like she said at the end. But to me, it's not about the toy. It's about the principle, the blatant disregard for my boundaries. If they couldn't respect something so small, why would I trust them to respect my home again? Like, she's kind of spitting, you know what I mean? Like, she's spitting for real. Let's read some of the comments. Let's see. Okay. This person says, not the asshole. They say, why the F would anyone want their kid to keep a gosh dang toy that has been slobbered and chewed on by a dog? Effing gross. Also saying, quote, I'm punishing my niece for something she didn't understand at the time, unquote. If your 6-year-old doesn't understand the toy is not yours, we can't take it home, then you have severely spoiled your child. I understand it by 4, probably, definitely 5, and certainly by 6. See, this is why I love the comments, because they bring up things that I didn't even think about. Who lets their wait a second, let's reverse. Who lets their child take a dog's toy home? Like, because the way that OP talks about the toy makes it seem as if this is an old toy that's been chewed up, that's been slobbered, exactly like the commenter said. That is such a good point I didn't even think about. Who lets their child take a dog's that's not the asshole. You are not punishing your niece, you are punishing your brother for stealing something from your home. Dogs get attached by scent and taste. He knew it wasn't the same dog. Your brother could have gotten an identical clean one, and no one would know. Seriously though, that's a dog toy, and your brother let a 6-year-old use it as a comfort item. So gross. Another person bringing up how gross that is. They are 100% right. That almost fully changes my opinion. Well, okay, so I didn't think that the girl was in the right for taking the toy in the first place. But I'm even more so against it now, remembering that it's a freaking dog toy. Oh my goodness. And yeah, that person is so right. Dogs have such amazing sense of like smell and taste that obviously he knows it's not the same toy. Like he probably sniffed that thing. What the heck is this? That's probably exactly what he thought when he was sniffing that freaking toy. Okay. So I think most people are saying that this person is not the asshole. So I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a way that you can like tell like where people are kind of voting and where they're leaning. But this is my first time on this subreddit and I don't know how it works. So we're about that a different day. So that's our first story down. Let's head on to our next story. Alright, title: Am I the asshole for staying overnight on my ex-husband's couch against the wishes of his girlfriend of 3 months? This already sounds very interesting. But let's get into this. My vehicle broke down an hour from my home, and my ex-husband agreed to pick up our daughters and myself from the location of the vehicle breakdown. As we arranged the pickup, we came to the conclusion that it makes the most sense to have me stay there overnight on the couch. He had a date with his girlfriend before picking us up. The kids and I were safe at a friend's home waiting for him. After his date, he went to the store for about 1.5 hours. He finally picked us up around 8:30 p.m. When I buckled up, he said his girlfriend is uneasy with the situation and asked if I could find somewhere else to crash. I asked when he had his conversation with her, and he said a few hours prior. I then asked why he was just telling me now at 8:30 p.m. He responded by telling me he kept forgetting to. I came to the conclusion that it was too late at night to find alternative overnight housing, and moving forward I will respect her requests as long as they are reasonable. Okay, so let's see. Here's the thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is an interesting one. Okay, the first weird thing, so the thing about Reddit stories, if you are unaware, is that one, you have to keep in mind that you're only getting one side of the story. And two, you have to keep in mind that sometimes people embellish things to make themselves sound better, you know? But it's all in the details, right? So, the thing that sticks out to me about this story is that she literally says, where is it? Oh my gosh, I lost it. Okay. He says, he had a date with his girlfriend before picking us up. The kids and I were safe at a friend's home waiting for him. Here's the thing. I wonder why she didn't just stay at the friend's house, like in the first place. I'm wondering if it was a situation of where the friend told her that she couldn't stay, or like what the case was, because like I can't imagine very many friends who would be like, oh, you can't stay, like you and your children cannot stay at my house because your car broke down, you know what I mean? So I wonder why not, like, have just stayed at the friend's house. So that's my first weird thing that sticks out to me about the story. But outside of that, like, one, it's weird to forget for multiple hours to bring up that your girlfriend is uncomfortable with your ex-wife and her kids staying over. Two, I think it's weird that his new girlfriend feels uncomfortable with his ex-wife and her children, like, breaking down and needing somewhere to stay. I would understand if the ex-wife was like, sucks because he waited so long. Everybody in the story kind of sucks. Well, except for the OP. The OP didn't do anything weird. The only thing about the OP is that I'm just curious why they didn't stay at the original friend's house. But, so let's read some comments. Not the asshole. I wouldn't date a man who wouldn't make sure the mother of his kids had somewhere safe for the night. She's either way insecure or he's been talking crap about you. That's a really good point. So, yes, absolutely. There are kids involved. Like, that should be in the story. His girlfriend is weird. He's weird. But, like, yeah, that is funny. That is a possibility. Like, maybe he talks so much crap about her that the girlfriend maybe doesn't even want her there at all. But then again, like I said, kids are involved. So, like, that's kind of the end of that story. You know what I mean? Let's read another one. Not the asshole. If I date a man with children, I'd expect his ex-partner to be in our lives in some respect. In fact, I don't think I'd be attracted to someone who wouldn't provide basic care to his ex like this in extenuating circumstances. Unless there have been habitual power plays by OP hinting at unresolved feelings. New GF seems to be overreacting to separate sleeping arrangements for one night during an unexpected event. That's also a good point. A lot of the times with these relationships, sometimes, your new girlfriend or new boyfriend, especially if you, were married and had kids, they can sometimes be worried that you're not fully over that old, husband or wife. So it's possible that maybe that's why she felt kind of nervous about it. Because maybe the guy in the story has said things to his new partner that would imply he isn't over his ex-partner yet. So that would kind of make a little bit more sense. So maybe, even though the sleeping arrangements were separate, she was still just worried, still weird, kids involved. And also, she brought up the fact that I'd expect, if I was ever to date a man with children, I'd expect his ex-partner to be in our lives in some respect. That is, I think, a hot take. Let me tell you why. So, my family, and a lot of families who I know, they are the exact opposite. They want nothing to do with, the ex-partners or the ex-wives or the ex-husbands. They will obviously stay in it for the kids. They'll take the kids for the weekends or however that type of arrangement is set up. But, I know plenty of couples who they do not like each other after a divorce. So, I think that would be very specific of if the divorce was actually, a healthy, not healthy, but a non-toxic divorce, Because, man, people are just hateful. People are hateful. People are spiteful. Things go wrong really badly. A lot of people stay together way too long, way longer than they really should. And I think that's where a lot of, the spitefulness comes in. A lot of the toxicity comes in from, people who are, just way too locked in. And, there's afraid of breaking up either because of the kids. Some people stay together because of the kids. Don't stay together because of the kids. That never works. Some people stay together because they don't want to start over, The idea of starting over in the dating world scares them, and I get it. As a person who's been single for a long time, the new age dating world sucks. So, a lot of interesting things. It feels like most people are leaning towards not the asshole for this individual, which I agree with strong-heartedly. So, that's gonna be it for this episode. Think about two stories, two solid stories. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I plan to do some more of these, especially if you guys like them. Talk down in the comments, let me know what you think, how you feel about these stories, what your opinions are. I think it would be fun to talk about it and hear what you guys have to say. So, yeah, this has been Judas ASMR. Thank you for tuning in. See ya.